All right, look. I got 2 more Sheduer Sanders videos to get off. I'm going to go ahead and get them off this week. And then next week, I'm going to start my Jackson Dart is the greatest thing since sliced bread campaign because I'm in love with his tape. All right, now this is when Big Fish start watching tape and highlights and games and stuff. Now that the player is on my team, this is when I start to go back and watch shit. Shout out to Jackson Dart. I'm going to get to my bear killing, gorilla killing quarterback soon. We gonna send 100 Jackson Darts at the gorilla. My man Jackson Dart be hunting in mountains and shit like that. He's an animal. He Tarzan. Jackson Dart, we gonna win some championships, baby. But I gotta address my idiot head coach and my bozo front office for a second. Understand something. The Giants are not racist, but they have absolutely zero self-awareness. The Giants have no self-awareness, bro. Travis Kelce, like, I can't defend Brian Daboll. I can't defend Joe Shane. I can't defend. When Kelce is talking about the Sheduer Sanders being unprepared, like that coach and GM need to put their name on it. They need to put their name on it. And like, my whole thing is this, right? Let me just say something. We wanted a quarterback. All right, I'll speak for myself. I just wanted the quarterback of the future. I didn't care if it was Shadour. I told y'all I didn't care if it was Jackson. I didn't care. Y'all heard me on my live stream during the draft. I wanted whatever quarterback was best for Brian Daboll. I said that 1,000 times. I said whatever quarterback is going to fit Brian Daboll's system, that's the guy we got to draft. All right. So when we trade up for Jackson Dart, I'm cool. If Brian Daboll believes that Jackson Dart is the best player for his system, that's the guy we got to take. Period. It doesn't matter if Shadour is better than Jackson Dart. Shadour is a better player than Jackson Dart. We know that. But it doesn't matter if Shadour and Brian Daboll don't get along. If Shadour can't take criticism from Brian Daboll, he don't need to be here because Brian Daboll is a hothead. He gonna curse you out. If Shadour can't take that, he don't need to be here. Daniel Jones couldn't take it. All right, Brian Daboll's not easy to work with. Okay, if Shadour isn't the best fit for what Brian Daboll wants to do with his offense, he don't need to be here. Everybody was fine with I was fine with Jackson Dart. I was actually more okay with the Jackson Dart pick than most of y'all were. And I was shocked because I've been called a racist for 2 weeks now because I've been calling out you white folks for doing what y'all be doing sometimes. They be calling me the racist guy, and I was okay with the damn Dart pick. So my whole thing is this. Just stand on your decision. All you had to do was say, bro, we took Jackson Dart, and don't say a mumbling word. Why do you have to leak fake news that Shadour wasn't prepared for your last second workout? How you gonna work this little nigga out 2 days before the draft and then try to set him up to criticize him and start a fight when Brian Daboll was like a girlfriend who just wanted to ruin your day? Your girl ever just start an argument with you for no reason? You just happy as can be. You doing your thing. You know us men is happy. You know, give us the PlayStation, something to eat, and leave it, suck our dick and leave us alone. But she can't do that. She got to come start an argument an hour into our zen. Zen for a man is after getting a blowjob, eating a sandwich, calling the homies, playing Call of Duty. That's zen for us. An hour into our zen, she gonna start an argument for no reason. And then criticize us for how we respond to her argument. That's what Brian Daboll did. Brian Daboll, if the rumors is true, and he cursed out Sheduer Sanders and Sheduer Sanders didn't respond well to it, then damn it, that's your fault. How you scout Sheduer Sanders for a year? They stalked Sheduer Sanders for a year, and then at the very last second, you change your mind? There's nothing you didn't know about Sheduer Sanders 2 days before the... I'm sorry, bro. Can we put the racism aside? Can we put the hate for Deion Sanders aside for a second? Let's just take color out of it. If you scout somebody for a whole year, B, you scout somebody for a whole year, what the hell are you going to learn 2 days before the draft that you didn't already know? Like, come on, B. Like, that shit is wild. Why are you slandering the kid? If you wanted Jackson Dart, just take Jackson Dart. You don't have to make up fake stories about Chris Miller don't like the way he answered questions. You don't have to make up fake stories about he wasn't prepared for a last second workout. Like, come on, B. Like, stop it. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. That's wrong. And they said that Sheduer Sanders was asking the front office questions. He was interviewing the front office. Didn't Bill Polian say it 1,000 times that Peyton Manning interviewed them? He didn't interview Peyton Manning. Didn't Alex Rodriguez interview the Yankees? He didn't. They didn't. And Yankees didn't interview Alex Rodriguez. Alex Rodriguez asked them the questions. They had to sell themselves to Alex Rodriguez. The Colts had to sell themselves to Peyton Manning. He wanted to know what was going on in the front office and what they was going to do with the roster before they took on number one. So Sheduer Sanders is asking some valid questions, and you lazy motherfuckers coming off a fucking 2-win season, whatever we did, have the audacity to get uncomfortable about it. Then he don't need to be your quarterback anyway. Keep it pushing. That's a you problem. That ain't a Shadour problem. That's a you problem. So I just don't like the fact that the Giants organization has Chris Miller leaks, Brian Daboll leaks, the shit on Shadour. Well, all you had to do was just say, we like Jackson Dart better than Shadour and keep it pushing. You didn't have to slander the kid's name. You didn't have to butcher his draft stock. You didn't have to belittle him to make yourself feel better for a stupid decision. Because the fact of the matter is, Joe Schoen wanted Sheduer Sanders. Joe Schoen didn't want Jackson Dart. Joe Schoen been scouting Sheduer Sanders for a year. The report came out. There was major division in the locker room. Not the locker room, the front office. Between Sheduer Sanders. Half the building wanted him. Half the building didn't. If Jackson Dart got drafted, I'm going to go on a limb and say that the other half of the building that wanted Sheduer Sanders was Joe Schoen. And it's Brian Daboll, who has leaked information before. Let's not forget the Wink Martindale situation. Okay, let's not act like Brian Daboll ain't leaked shit to the media before. If a man is quiet all the time, if a man never has anything to say, and all of a sudden you start hearing things he said, that means he wanted you to hear what he said. Translation, Brian Daboll is Mr. CIA. He's Belichickian when it comes to talking to the media. You don't know what the hell be going on with Brian Daboll. So now, but the day of the draft, all of a sudden we get mad leaks that Brian Daboll had conflict with Shadour. Brian Daboll didn't like Shadour. The private workout didn't go well. Come on, man. We don't hear shit from Brian Daboll ever. And then all of a sudden we start getting leaks out of Brian Daboll. Come on, B. What we talking about, man? So to answer your question, Travis Kelce, bro, I apologize for my front office. They ain't shit. They ain't never been shit. They ain't never gonna be shit. But at the end of the day, we got Jackson Dart, and I think he's gonna be pretty damn good. But I will say this, and this is my warning. And if you're still watching this video, let me know if this triggers you a little bit. Let me know if this worries you a little bit. Isn't it the most giant shit ever if Sheduer Sanders goes on to be an MVP quarterback and we're the franchise that said he had a bad workout? We're the franchise that said he answered questions wrong. We're the franchise that drafted Jackson Dart ahead of him. Wouldn't it just be the most Giants thing ever if we become the laughingstock of the league? If Sheduer Sanders is an MVP and Jackson Dart is a pack of mid, wouldn't that just be the most Giants thing ever? After the Saquon situation, after Xavier McKinney, it's just like, even Evan Ingram. It's to a point now where when the Giants don't like a player, they flourish other places. That worries me. That worries me that if Shadour goes on to be an elite quarterback, we're going to be part of his story and a laughing stock for the next 20 years if this kid goes on to be good. That worries me just a little bit. Does that worry any of you Giants fans at all? But anyway, I ain't got nothing else to say. That's it. That's all. Hit the like button, the sub button, all that YouTube shit. My name is FiskVicious, and I approve this message.